Hello there, welcome back to my channel. And if you are new to this channel, I am Emma Graphics and I do a lot of CorelDRAW tutorial videos and also other programs as well. If you are new to my channel, like I said, consider subscribing and by clicking on the red button below, and also click the bell icon in order not to miss any of my future upload. But in today's video, we are just going to talk about costing, right? As a graphic designer, we are just going to look at factors affecting costing generally, so you wouldn't want to miss this video. So I'm going to list some of the factors, maybe not all, but at least up to 6, so you wouldn't want to miss this particular video. Okay, so stick around. So we are going to start from number 1. So the number 1 cost that is affecting the factors that is affecting the cost when it comes to graphic design or printing, it's a number of pages. All right, so what I mean by number of pages is, like, let's consider 20 pages brochure. Let's use brochure for an example. For instance, 20 pages brochure, anybody that is designing and prints 20 pages brochure cannot charge the same amount as someone that prints, let's say, 50 or 200 pages brochure. All right, because the pages are much more than the person that is printing 20 pages, so the charges will be more, all right, with the 100 pages. So if you are considering designing 20 pages brochure, just know that if somebody charge, let's say, 20k for just the design of the brochure, like the 100 pages brochure, if somebody charge 20k, for instance, you cannot charge that amount for 20 pages. So obviously you have to reduce the price. But I'm not saying 20k is what people charge for 100 pages. Don't get me wrong. Don't go and charge that, because that's too low. I mean, anyways, it depends on the quality of the job you are giving. I'll come to that anyways. So number 1 is the number of pages. So that's what you need to consider as you decide to charge your client. So the number 2 is the content provided. All right, the content, what I mean by content is the let's say if somebody wants to design a flyer for promotion, let's say if it is a fashion design, okay, flyer that you need to design, and then a client said, okay, design this is what I want. All the client wants you to do is to come up with a design. The client did not provide you with either the picture of the shoe she's selling, the clothes she's selling, some of the accessories that she's selling. She doesn't even care to download this thing and send to you, or take a picture of what she has or he has in his shop to send to you, so that you can use to do your work, to make your work easier. So the person just said, okay, go ahead and just design, come up with the design. Some of them, they tell me that a lot. Come up with the design. Are you not a graphic designer? Come up with something. So I will now be the one to go and sort for the content I need, sort for all those things, and then put them together to be able to work for them. So this is what also I consider. I mean, particularly when I charge my clients. So I consider that if I find out that you don't have anything to send to me, for me to use to do the job, that I have to provide almost everything to do the job, I'm not going to charge you the same amount that the person or someone who sent me those things. So the prices are going to be different. So that's how I charge. So I don't know how you do your own, but this is the best way to go. All right, so the next thing is the designer experience. All right, I have a friend, a very good friend, who is very good in designing. So I cannot charge, let's say, for a flyer, I cannot charge the amount of what he is charging for flyer. Why? Because he has much more experience than I have. All right, so because of the experience, you have to consider experience. Somebody who charged, let's say, for example, that my friend will now come up, will see a client, and then maybe you just tell the client, give me 50k for a flyer, of course, which is normal. I mean, in terms of charging the price, right? So it's normal for him. He can charge 50k. But I just can't go and meet, me, like, I don't have that much experience like he does. And I'll just go and meet my client and tell my client, okay, pay me 50,000 naira for, let's say, flyer design for promotion, for sales promotion. I mean, I can't do that, but he can because he has so much experience. So the experience counts, all right? The experience counts. And then what I'm charging people now, some other graphic designers, they just can't think of it, because I've seen a designer who charge 5K for flyer, who charge 2K for flyer, right? Which is not okay, because that's not what I charge. And then but other designers are charging, and I can't charge that because with my experience, no, I can't. So you need to consider this. So the experience must count, okay? For me, the experience counts. So that's that also. And then the next thing on my list, I would say the complexity of the design. What do I mean by complexity? I'm talking about there are some sort of intricate design and basic design. So the basic design is pretty much more like a design that will probably take you, let's say, 30 minutes, 15 minutes to get it done, because there's not much details, you don't have too much to download to do such. Like I talked about earlier, the client would send you images and stuff like that for you to use to do your work. So in this case, basic design, so you don't need, since you are the one that downloading the elements that you are using to design, you probably just not going to pretty much download much. You just, maybe you already have some of the things, so you just put it and one or two things before, in the next 30 minutes, 15 minutes you are done. But those complicated designs, such as you have to come up with either the ring light, there has to be some sort of reflection, and the client is actually telling you that this is what I want. So it's not just telling you come up with something just like the rest. The come up with something is more like, for me, it's a basic design. But if a client is telling me to, there has to be some sort of ring light on top of that, maybe the flashy light, there are some things that I talked about light flare the other day. So there are some clients who want all those kind of glittering kind of a thing in their design, and then a specific way for you to write their text. In fact, some of them even give you the text name, like the font name, right? So you are the one to go and search for these fonts. If you don't have it, you go and download the font so that you can use the position, the size, all those things. I consider them as like some sort of complex design. So you cannot charge that person the same amount as the person who said, okay, just come up with anything or come up with a designer. You're not a graphic designer. Right? I look at all this. So these are the things I put together in order to give you the price of what I am going to charge you. So there's a lot that I can talk about, but because I don't want this video to be too long, so we can just talk about revision. Lastly, the number of revision, if you finish with the design, especially that particular client who has a certain level that you want or you to do their job, who give you some sort of specification on how to come up with their design. So that particular design will definitely go through a lot of let me say rigorous process for you to even finish the design. So they might come up with something else. They say, okay, this design has, it looks like this, why don't you do it like this? So those are my revision. Those are what I call revision. They will go through it, they come back again and tell you, okay, this is it, fix this. I thought that this X will look like this, so since it's not like this, turn it to like this. So that those revision, come back again, do it again, go back again, do it again. Those are the things I also consider. So most times I don't just sit down when a client said I want to design a flyer, I'll just give you a price right away. I need to ask questions. I need to get to the bottom of everything before I will now come up with a price to give you. So I can't just tell you because you want to print a flyer, boom, give me the price. I'll just give you, okay, give me this amount. No, I'll ask you some certain question. I will take my time, think about it, know the kind of business that you are doing. How do I get this design pop for you to be able to attract your customers? How do my work going to help you in your business? So that's how I managed to charge my do my costing. So I hope this video helps. I'm going to post a video very soon. I've not done tutorial the last couple of days, but because of time, but trust me, I'm going to post upload a video very soon, so I don't want to tell you the name. So I want you to be just expect the video very soon, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.